And we're back. You're listening to the Talkin' Boxing with Billy C. Show. Glad you could join us. I want to give a special shout out to ESPN New Hampshire, and we're glad to be part of your day today. And we're glad that you're part of our family, so to speak. And don't forget, we're doing a Triple G David Lemieux pre- and post-fight show. Now it's going to be coming to you live. You'll be able to watch it right here on BillyCBoxing.com, our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Talkin Boxing, TalkinBoxing. You can watch it on Ustream. You can watch it on LDL TV. You can even watch it on LDLTV.com. So make sure you tune in 1 hour before the pay-per-view starts for our pre-fight show, and 5 minutes after the official announcement is made for our post-fight show. Now, if you really want to have a good time, what you need to do is come and join us and be part of our live audience for our pre- and post-fight event. And it's taking place none other than beautiful St. Simon's Island, Georgia. And where? Where, you ask? You wonder where it's going to take place? Well, it's going to be taking place at Sal's Neighborhood Restaurant and Pizzeria. We've talked about it. The full menu is going to be open. A cash bar will be open for you. We're going to have our show. We want you to be part of the audience. And joining us right now is my man, Sal Rocky Cenicola. What's up, Sal?
Hey, Bill, how are you, buddy?
Not too bad, my man, not too bad. Getting ready to take the drive, and I'm looking forward to a great night at your place. Before we get started here with this fight, I mean, what are you anticipating for our event down at your facility?
Well, I anticipate we're going to have a fantastic evening. I know that we're filled with good friends, good people, great food, and Billy, this is the fight I've been waiting for. This is going to be a fight that you and I talk about. This is going to be a fight where both men are going to rise to the occasion, and they're going to prove who is the best out there. They're going to try and take each other's heads off. But I think this fight, I could say, is going to end with a knockout. And I can only assume there's going to be one person that leaves with their hand held up. It's not going to be a draw. It's not going to be a decision. I can tell you that.
You know, I've been saying all along, and I feel adamant about the fact that this fight, we know that it's going to be an exciting, action-packed fight, and I believe that if it lives up to the expectations, which I believe it will, and there's no guarantees in life, but I really guarantee that it's going to live up to its expectations. I believe that it's going to lasso and bring back some of the boxing fans that have left because of the lack of excitement and lack of action-packed fights. Do you agree with that? Do you think that, not that there's added pressure of the sport of boxing on these guys or even, the organizers of the event, but do you think that this fight will bring back, more fans to the sport? Even if they don't watch it, I'm sure they're going to hear about it. Well, what do you think the repercussions of an exciting fight on Saturday will be for the sport overall?
Bill, if this fight lives up to what it potentially has all the facets of a war, of a great fight, yes, I believe there's going to be a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, and a lot of people that are going to be sorry they missed this fight, but a lot of people that are going to brag how much they enjoyed this fight. It's going to be a throwback. It's going to be a heck of a competitive fight, and you have two great, well-conditioned young fighters that are both believing they are the best. And I'll tell you something. I heard David Lemieux in an interview himself. What I love, what he said, when you and I talk in every week in, week out, he said, he was asked the question, why are you taking this fight? You don't have to. You're a champion. You can stay around for a long time and fight this guy, that guy, and hold your belt and do this. What do you want to fight this Golovkin for? The monster. You know what he said? He said, to be the best, I got to fight the best. So there you go. He's rising to the occasion. He knows, hey, the bully on the block, and he's not. These are both gentlemen. These are both warriors. These are both good fighters. But I love what he said. To be the best, I got to beat the best. I got to fight the best. That's what you and I talk about every week. The fighters aren't doing that nowadays. But guess what? This is a throwback. This is going to resurrect
I'm losing you, Sal. Are you still there?
I'm there. I'm there.
I
Can you
need,
hear me?
I need you to stay right where you are because we need to go through this. So you're going to do the keys to victory for both of these fighters right now. Let's start off with Lemieux since you brought him up first. What does Lemieux have to do to beat Triple G?
Well, I got to tell you, I think Lemieux, he should have a good, solid fight plan in place. And he's going to have to be able to stick to his fight plan. He can't be rattled. He can't be thrown off guard. He's going to have to try to stick to a good, solid fight plan. And he's got to keep his hands up, and he's got to execute those punches. This guy is very, very heavy-handed, and he lets those punches fly. And let me tell you something. What I do like about him, he can turn those fights right around with a good left hand and a good right hand. He's got power in both hands, and he keeps those hands up, and he executes them very well. So he keeps those hands up. He looks out to be careful of what Golovkin's going to bring to him, but he's got to stick to the fight plan. He's got to execute those punches, keep his balance, and he's got to catch Golovkin with his hands down. Golovkin throws some wide, heavy punches. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes he winds up, he cocks it back, and at that time, one or two of those hands are left a little lower than what I would like to see myself or somebody else to win, keep their hands. So if he can catch Golovkin with his hands down for a split second and snap that punch right there, he can hit Golovkin. And that's another thing. Golovkin can get hit. Lemieux can get hit. But I think Lemieux has a real good puncher's chance. He could turn this fight right around, and he could stop Golovkin in 5 rounds, 6 rounds, if he's careful, if he executes his fight plan, he keeps his hands up, and he turns those punches over with power and looks for the openings. As soon as Golovkin keeps a hand down, a fist down, throws one punch and has the other hand down to recoil, that's when he's going to catch Golovkin, and he can hit him. If he's going to hit him, it's going to be like no other fighter that Golovkin got hit with yet today, I don't believe. So that's how he's going to have to prove his win, this fight, if he's going to try and win.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I don't know if Golovkin has been hit by anyone as strong as Lemieux. And I was saying earlier, David Lemieux actually has some advantages here. He's got youth on his side. He's bigger. He's bigger than Golovkin,
yeah.
And he's stronger. And your fight plan for him makes a lot of sense, except for something that Triple G does very well. My question would be, well, before I ask you this, why don't you give me your keys to victory for Triple G?
Well, Triple G, he's got everything. He also has power in both hands, and he can turn a fight around and end a fight with one punch. And he has. Both these guys have the power. And what Triple G has to do, what I have seen him do, he cannot play possum. He cannot say, hey, I'm getting complacent. Come and hit me. I'll show you. In other words, sometimes Triple G, he likes to carry a fight. And he's not going to have a chance to do that here. And I don't think he's going to be that complacent where he's going to try and do that. What Triple G has to do, he just can't get caught with his hands down. He's got to keep him back. He's got to keep his balance. And he's got to look to set Lemieux up. He's got to throw some feints because he's a little smaller guy, and he's got to throw that jab. He's got a terrific jab. He's got a terrific left. He's just got to use it enough. And he's got to create those openings, and he's got to put the pressure on Lemieux. And I think if he puts the pressure on Lemieux and hits him in the body and get him in the body, because they're both also very good body punchers. But I haven't seen them both take great body shots. So I think if Golovkin could hit Lemieux in the body, get his hands down, because Lemieux keeps him up there pretty well, I think then he could bang on the arms, bang on the shoulders, then hit him in the chin, and that'll be his path. He's got to stay on a very methodical pattern. He's got to bring the fight to Lemieux, and he's got to cut the ring off on Lemieux, and he can't let Lemieux get set in his stance and in his power to throw those powerful punches. Because Lemieux gets set, he has a great foundation, and he knows how he can execute those punches when he's got balance. So if Lemieux is off balance, the punch power is not as effective. So that's what Golovkin's got to do. He's got to take the fight to him. He's got to protect himself at all times, and he's got to use that jab to open up the opportunities and to look to smack and come over the top with those punches hard and fast.
Let me ask you this. about Lemieux. Let me go to Lemieux and your fight plan with him. I agree with you that he's got to basically utilize his punching power, be cautious in there, keep his hands up, like you mentioned, which I agree 100%, and look for the opening and the weakness that Triple G has by at times, letting his guard down a little bit. But I ask you this. Something that Triple G does, I believe, better than anyone else in the sport of boxing, and I do mean anyone else, including the so-called retired Floyd Mayweather, is that I think that he is the best ring general out there. I have not seen a guy control his opponent in the ring as well as Triple G does. He cuts the ring off extremely well. He anticipates very early on in the fight where his opponent is going to move, whether he moves to his right or to his left. Triple G is there. Bam. How is David Lemieux going to try to, stay focused and follow a game plan when everything he does, at least this is my, prediction, everything that he's going to do, Triple G is going to be there thinking ahead of him. I mean, if that starts happening, what does he got to do to make an adjustment to get out of that, to get back to his game plan? I mean, what kind of adjustment, if any, can a fighter do if they find themselves, on the short end of the stick in terms of their opponent just, ring generalship them all over the ring?
Well, you said a key thing. And what I saw with Golovkin, yes, he does have a fantastic ring generalship. And you're right. Wherever he goes, wherever he sets up, wherever he can think about or anticipate his opponent's going to be, he's right there to capitalize on a mistake or on what he's got to do. So I do give the ring generalship to Golovkin. Now, that doesn't say that Lemieux doesn't have to get shaken or off track, and he can't step back, take a round away, and to just kind of reassess and regather himself and maybe box a little bit. I think he's a bigger guy. I know these guys are both going to come at each other. And what I did like about Lemieux is what I saw a few times where he got caught, he still stays in the pocket, and he does do it effectively. Now, Lemieux can stand and keep his balance, stay in the pocket, and Golovkin's not going to be running from Lemieux. And I don't think Lemieux's going to be running from Golovkin. And this is going to be a fight, and I think it's just going to be a matter of Lemieux not getting caught into the Golovkin ring generalship game, because it's going to be like a chess match, and if it's going to be a chess match, Golovkin's going to outbox and outfox Lemieux. And Lemieux's got to stick to his game plan. Like I said, if he gets rattled, if he thinks he's not getting to where he needs to be dominant in the fight, he's got to take a fight off. He's got to take a round off, maybe to assess and box a little bit and see if there's any weaknesses that Golovkin can expose while he's doing something different than what Golovkin's going to anticipate he's going to be doing all along. And that's sometimes a fighter has the ability to do. And like I said, in a 12-round fight, depending on where you are in that fight, he can take a half a round or a round off to assess and see what can he do to try and find the vulnerability of a Golovkin. And when I say take off, I don't mean give it away. I mean to gather yourself, to reassess, to see what the next strategy is going to be. And his corners, men should also be able to pick and to anticipate and see where this fight is going and who's going to be dominant and how can we change the direction of the momentum if one fighter is more dominant than the other.
Sal, a lot of people look at Triple G as an extremely powerful puncher. As a matter of fact, they look at him as that's his style, that he's a power puncher. Most people agree that he does know he does know his way around the ring, as we term it, ring generalship. But the kid can box. I mean, Triple G is a boxer. I mean, he can box. He's not a big guy. He's small for a middleweight, in my opinion. I think David Lemieux is bigger. He's stronger. He's got Ute on his side. Do you think it would be smart for David Lemieux? And I know this may sound stupid to a lot of the viewers and listeners, but and because everybody thinks Triple G is such a power puncher, and the question mark with Lemieux is his suspect chin. But do you think it's in Lemieux's favor to try to go toe-to-toe with Triple G? I mean, try to land a power shot and use his youth and strength advantage, or at least try to, because the only question mark that we face with Triple G is, can he withstand a solid shot? We've seen him take shots, but not from a puncher like David Lemieux. Does it make sense for Lemieux to try to go toe-to-toe, or do you think he needs to, try to get into the later rounds? I mean, what do you think?
Well, you're talking about two well-conditioned athletes, and they're both capable of going the distance. And what I saw from both their styles and how they have a relentless attack, once they do have their opponent hurt, once they're able to each execute the combinations necessary and to end the fight in a dominant fashion, I think Lemieux, he can come right out at Golovkin, and I think that's going to be what Golovkin's going to expect him to do. So I think you're pretty sharp there. I think if Lemieux comes out and maybe just doesn't meet him in the middle of the ring to go head to head right there, I think he has a youth. And when's the last time these guys went to 12 rounds? And they're both very well conditioned. So Lemieux might be able to look at his strategy, maybe is to carry the fight to later rounds. I think only their camp is going to really assess where we're going to go with this fight and how we're going to beat Golovkin. And I think that if Lemieux is in a position where the fight's going to go longer, I think it will be to his advantage. I think it will be to his advantage if the fight goes longer. I think Golovkin is going to want to knock him out within the 6th round. And if the fight goes past that, I think Lemieux, being as well-conditioned as he is and able to maybe take a shot, I don't know. I'm just wanting to see both fighters rise to the occasion and give us their best. And I think Lemieux, if he gets them in the later rounds after 6 or 7, you might see an upset here because I know the Vegas odds are definitely for Golovkin to do a number and do it in a dominant fashion early. But I think the boxing fans out there, they will know that this fight is going to be one of the best they're going to see in a long, long time.
Yeah, there's no question about that, and the odds are in Triple G's favor. But every time that happens, crazy things happen. So Sal, I'm putting you on the spot right now, my man. And it has nothing to do with pizza. It has to do with your official pick. Who are you officially picking in this fight, and how is he going to win?
Well, I knew you were going to do this. I'll tell you, Bill. Right now, I'm going to tell you, I like both of these guys. They both stand for the style of fight, for the kind of character in a fighter, and the kind of heart in a fighter that I respect and I admire and appreciate. I don't just necessarily go by what comes out of a fighter's mouth, because a lot of time it's the bragioso and this one and that one. But I think these guys are legit, and I think these guys are bona fide, solid, good fighters. And of course, Golovkin is favored to win. And I always like the underdog, you know me. But I could see, I don't see this fight going past 7-8 round tops. And I almost want to say, well, I'm going to say it. I could see Lemieux getting Golovkin and hurting them, and maybe having a real big upset come Saturday night.
Well, if it happens early, it's going to happen early. I mean, to me, that's his chance. Lemieux has a legitimate puncher's chance if he jumps out early and catches Triple G. I mean, the one thing about Triple G, and keep in mind, Lemieux has learned things over the last couple of years. He was overprotected for a long time. Russ Ambers used to train him. He got his first taste of a real fight and came up short. And then, he got back on the horse, so to speak, and then conditioning was an issue. And he seems to all have it together in his last couple of fights. He's going, throwing punches full force for the whole length of the fight, so his conditioning issues are taken care of. It seems like he's gotten a little tighter with his whole game, both offensively and defensively. So, he's got a puncher's chance. He really does. And the thing I keep saying about his size and youth, it's something he's got to take advantage of. So we'll have to wait and see. And you know what? If you're right and he catches Triple G early enough in the fight, we could all be scratching our heads and saying, hey, let's see a rematch.
Well, and that's another thing here. And I thought about that too. I want to see these guys do what I think they're both capable of: going out there and fighting and boxing a superior match of what we've been seeing of late. And I think this would be a great parlay and a great attraction for fans to get back into boxing when they see what happens with this fight coming Saturday. And like I said, I like both these fighters. The better man's going to win. And any fighter can be beaten any given night. And there's these variables or intangibles that we just don't really know what's going through their hearts or minds. I'm going to say that I just was very impressed with Lemieux's power and how I see him do some solid fundamental characteristics of a good general fighter who keeps his hands up, keeps his feet well planted, has decent defensive skills, but can turn a punch around and turn a punch over with his left or with his right, with an uppercut, unlike a lot of fighters that I've seen out there. And we know Triple G's capable of doing that, and we know Triple G could do that. I just see sometimes if he does get a little lazy, a little complacent, or a little bit wild with those roundhouse punches he throws or drops a hand, I think this kid Lemieux may have an answer for that. I legitimately like both fighters. I'm a fan of both fighters, and I'm just going to say, don't be too surprised if Lemieux comes out there and upset Golovkin by catching him and catching him hard and catching him hurt and hurting him bad. Now, another thing is this: Lemieux's been deep. He's tasted what victory is about, and he's tasted what defeat is about. Golovkin doesn't know defeat. And he's had several hundred amateur fights to make him the fighter that he is today. So it's a hard thing to go into territory. I just know that I don't think Golovkin has gotten hit or tagged solid with the way Lemieux can fight and Lemieux can punch. That's my concern for Golovkin, because I see he does take some shots. I think he's easier to hit than what Lemieux will be. So that's just it. That's my prediction. If he's easy to hit and Lemieux can hit him and catch him, you're going to see an upset. Because I don't think he's gotten hit by a guy like Lemieux with his power.
No, he hasn't, and it's going to make for an interesting fight. There's no doubt about that. Sal, I'm looking forward to coming down, and I'm going to be heading down there. Any news on some local people coming around for our event there, or what do you got? You got any updates for me, or what?
Well, yeah, we're creating good buzz, and we got you a beautiful place to stay. I know we're going to have Carl King come down, or come up. You're coming down. And you're both going to be put up in the Sea Palms Resort. So it's a beautiful place. It's right down the road from us, and we have a great relationship with these guys. So anybody that wants to follow you down, we'll get you a room and get you guys going there.
Now, does that come with a blonde, a brunette, or a redhead? Which one? I forget. I know the chocolate comes on the pillows, but what about the blonde, the brunette, or the redhead? Does that come with it too?
Oh, I don't know, but I know they've got a great wait staff for the dining room and everything else, and their breakfast, and they're full of blondes and brunettes.
Dining? What do you think? I'm going to cheat on you? I'm not dining anywhere but your place.
Forget about it. Well, you know, I do have. You've never tasted, Billy. You've never tasted my breakfast pizza, and let me tell you, if I can open up for breakfast, I will knock it out of the park. And I'll tell you what. Let me make you a breakfast pizza. I will do one for you that you will say, "Wow." what did I just open up? That new can of worms, a new pizza for you. Like I said, what we do, we create, we experiment, we develop these things. When I'm closing up late at night, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I say, let's try a little bit of this, let's try a little bit of that, let's do this, let's do that. And when I try it out on people, they like it. I said, that's a winner. We've got a couple pieces that I've done for you that you already like.
Well, I'm looking forward to my ace in the hole plane made by you, of course. But breakfast pizza, all right. I'll be there for breakfast Sunday morning. But I'll be there sooner than that. I'm looking forward to seeing you and all your staff. And I'll see you guys on Friday, my man.
Me too, and I got a new T-shirt for you to bring home, and also one I want you to take home for Joel for you. All right?
Joel, I keep telling Joel to come on down to get the shirt. You know,
I know.
Anybody that comes,
I know.
you should give people some stuff if they come. You know, and they got to sit and they got to sample your food. They got to hang out with us, be part of the party, and then maybe they get a shirt when they leave. You know, come on, Joel's got.
They got to join the family. We got to make them We got to make them a family member.
That's right. They got to join in the reindeer games, my man, so hey, listen, I'm looking forward to a great event, and we can only have great events at Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Restaurant Italiano.
Did you just say cannoli have a great event, or we can only have?
I'll throw that in. That's good. I said we can only, but you know what? I like the sound of a cannoli much better.
Because I knew you would.
Yeah, I know.
It's like I teach this other people down here how we say. And we can make our own language, little words. They have their drawn out little drawl in their talk, and that's great. And I love it. It's great. It's cute. But I tell them, how we say, "Did you eat?" We make 3 words into one. It comes out jeet.
Yeah, jeet. That's right. That's right, my man. Well, listen, I'll be looking forward to seeing you in a few days.
All right, my friend. You take care. Have a safe trip down. We'll look forward to a glorious weekend. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it.
Me too, my man, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of people down there as well.
All right, buddy. You take care. Talk to you soon, Billy. Take care and have a safe trip.
All right, Sal. Take care. That's my man, Sal, Rocky Cenicola. And like I said, man, you got to come down for our Billy C. Triple G, David Lemieux pre- and post-fight shows only at Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria Restaurant Italiano. The food is great. Like I told you, the event will be for free. You don't have to pay for the fight. He's going to have his whole menu available to you, so you can check out whatever you want, buy whatever food you like. There's a cash bar there. You can buy whatever you want to drink. You'll have a great time. We watch the fights. You'll be part of the whole shebang. I was going to say something else. The whole shebang. You'll be there. And don't forget, you got to end any meal with a cannoli at Sal's. I'm looking forward to it. If you can't make it down there, you know where to tune in. Listen, I'm going to take a short break. When I come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I want to get your thoughts. Triple G, David Lemieux, who's going to win? I'll be back in, what do you think? You guessed it,